can you shut the door, please?
He stands.
Actually, Echo holds out a hand and thaumaturgies the door closed.
He's not in the room yet, so he will walk forward, and then the door will close behind him, yes.
I'll smack him in the ass with it, it's fine.
He pulls up a bag, and the bag...
Echo just face in palm.
He opens it, and he pulls out a sealed fishbowl, and he sets it on the table, and a little goldfish looks at you and goes, blub, blub.
I've taken to calling him Chester.
Why you bring fish?
This, and he looks at Echo, as I keep saying, is Silgar. Silgar is the one creature, other than itself, that Xanathar... Ooh, and unfortunately, this poison splash also breaks Echo's concentration, it looks like.
All right.
So the bless effect comes out. I love how, like, the first thing Barnabas does when he gets back together is the same thing all of you do at one point or another, which is, what's a little friendly fire between friends?
So Echo is going to first, like, brush off the venom gunk, turn to Barnabas and say, thanks.
And there's Barnabas's face in just absolute exquisite detail on the front page of the Gazette.
So that particular page that has that really good illustration of Barnabas, Echo is going to just keep that.
He's going to clip it, yeah.
During these 3 days, I would imagine that Kreitha would basically be watching Echo's obvious relationship.
Well, how obvious is the relationship?
So he walks into the conversation as you are talking about relative ages.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this will be good.
How old are you, Mr. Barnabas?
Calder starts to take his drink.
He looks down at you and says, low 3 digits.
And then, you, like,
He's a little
everyone's
over
like,
He's a little over 100.
wait a second, I'm the relatively oldest person here? Echo says, I'm fucking middle-aged.
I did not have guessed that. Does that mean that you are robbing the cradle, as I heard someone say?
His face goes entirely blank for a count of maybe 5. And then he continues the conversation as though he did not hear what you just said. You notice that he's got a false nose on, and it's not entirely convincing.
I would go so far as to say, not at all convincing, but I am not going to mention it.
Turns around and, he's suggesting that we get going. Echo's gonna go like, oh, no. And, like, start pulling out his own disguise kit.
That is exactly what I was hoping you would say in response to that. Yes.
Oh, you kidding me? Come on! Jesus.
So here's what I'm going to say. You work on it for a little while. And you're like, yes, no, maybe,
He only
yes.
looks more handsome.
You turn around, and yes, Kreitha and Calder, you notice that he has not disguised Barnabas. What he has done is made him up to look stunning. Like, he looks like he is going to turn heads like this. His braids
Echo?
have braids.
Echo?
What?
Did you understand the assignment?
But he looks like a different handsome dwarf.
He looks very handsome.
And very regal.
And very regal. One could say almost kingly.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, I see what you're saying.
All else fails, I will use magic.
Just say, sorry, got a little lost in your eyes there. Let me do a real job here. So once we're back in the room that we have at the yawning portal, Echo would be like, hey, do you have anything you want to shove in this bag of holding? Because I'm like, I'm putting most of my shit in this bag of holding. This is great. I don't have to carry around. Like, you can see, like, Echo, like, putting his whole spear into the bag of holding.
He looks in and goes, I bet you could fit in there.
Yeah, but,
How long do you think you'd be able to stay in there before you suffocate?
that's what it's not, like, it looks like a room in there, but there's no fence. So, now that we're, you know, working with Kelder, met Kretha, she's cool, are you okay? Like, I know.
And he looks around to make sure the door's closed and that you're sort of alone, and he goes, Not really.
I'm here because you asked me to come, and I care about you. But I'm also here because a goddess of adventuring told me to come and do good. So I'm also feeling a bit lost in all this. I mean, if it goes well and we get the item, like, I'm the one who has to use it, right? I don't know if I can even use an item like that yet. I don't know how this magic bag works, let alone how high-level channeling divinity works,
And magic like that always comes with a price.
right?
Should I be attempting to secure the forge? You've been with me. We've already seen the lives it's cost. It's going to cost more before the end. Do you think that securing the forge is the right call for myself and my clan?
I think it is, because if you don't control it, if your people aren't working it and making these mystical magical artifacts with it, then somebody else will be. And I wouldn't trust just anyone with the power of that forge, but I'd trust you with it, Barnabas.
Yes, I am certain we will succeed in our goals. He kind of rubs at the scars on his arms from where the roots dug into his skin all those months ago.
Yep.
And he says, so a tournament. Ever the performer, eh, Echo?
I think we've got a great band this time around, and I think we can give them a good show.
You know I can't come along for that, right? My face is already in the paper.
It is such a shame that I will not get to dress you up like a gladiator, but I think I can survive it. I think
there are many battles to come. Perhaps your fashion sense will be necessary at some point.
We are going to get you in a leather thong at some point. And then
and that's where we're ending that scene.
As I picture Barnabas just turning completely red. And Echo snaps his fingers, and Echo now looks like an entirely different goblin. He casts Disguise Self on himself.
You don't...
You've been waiting how long to do that? How long have you been I have seen you practice just that in the mirror.
I have one more alert. If anyone from House Ashcroft comes looking for me, I was not here.
Ashcroft.
Exactly.
You've been rubbing off on me, Echo. You're not good for me.
He just spits ale everywhere.
Calder will just drink long of his ale to stop from commenting.
Yeah, wait. And he turns to Kretha, you don't have multiple rows of teeth? that just keep.
No!
I know humans don't have it, but like. Like,
No!
Echo opens his mouth. It looks like a shark's mouth. Like, there's just rows of teeth waiting to, like, come forward.
Oh, that's horrifying.
What? It's my teeth. What
And
do you
then
mean?
she looks at Boulder's shoulder for a moment, makes a weird sound, and then looks back at Echo.
I can't take any of you anywhere.
All right.
That's what I'm just saying. That's what absolutely what Boulder Shoulder says.
So
Okay.
when I'm handing off the bag of holding to Barnabas and, like, you know, all the other gear that I'm just leaving in our hotel room there, I take out a specific package, and it's parchment, and it's a bunch of letters wrapped up in yarn, and I hand it to him. I'm like, hey, I have a good feeling about today, but in case the worst happens, these need to get to the goblins that are currently working for the Chabelle family. So I will see you tonight, but
Yeah.
those need to get there.
Don't make me use these.
Echo gives him a kiss on the cheek and leaves the room.
Aww.
So let's go into another room, either up or what do you think, Barnabas? Sir, where shall we go?
Aha, sir. Where should we go, sir?
He'll look at Echo with just like utter blankness, and then he'll sort of nod over at the same room that you were in before on the first floor.
Great.
And then wait patiently because he's on the back end of a booth and has to wait for Echo to get out of the way before he can get out.
I think before going up to bed, because, you know, this is Boulder Shoulder getting up for the day. He's probably not going to go sleep right now. Echo will, when passing him in the room or whatever, stop by him and say, see, told you I'd make it back safe, and head on up to bed.
He gives you a genuine smile.
Echo's like just like deciding whether or not to get up and deal with this rat or not, and then it starts to talk.
Yes, this is the animal messenger spell. And you shall have your audience.
Okay,
Echo
real quick.
smacks Barnabas next to him. Are you fucking hearing this?
Barnabas is so asleep.